Hey, we're back. And this time it's both of us. And hopefully this time y'all can hear both of us. So what's up
Hey, hey,
today? Go
hey.
ahead and jump in.
Hey, so wow, I don't know what I missed, but hey, we here now, so we're gonna get this party started and kicked off and going. Today was the first official day of basketball practice for high school boys. So woo, we had our first official practice today and excited about that. Good luck to all the teams. So let's go, Carlita, what you got?
Okay. All right. Congratulations again. I did shout you out during our first pre-segment and just let everybody know that it is basketball season and we need to just support you in that for what we're doing. So you are a dope sports chick. So congratulations and good luck. Have a great basketball season.
Thank you.
So Dak is back. Okay, y'all. I know everybody's been waiting and ready for me to talk about Dakota Prescott. And so boom, since Dak is back, let's just dive in, y'all. Let's just dive in and get to it. My bro Dak, he passed for 19 of 25, y'all. 19 of 25, 207 yards, a touchdown. Boom. And how many interceptions? None. None for you haters, suckers. Okay, so I'm so excited that he did not get a daggone interception or anything like that because we just didn't need fuel added to the daggone fire. But he had a great game coming back. No, it wasn't a perfect game. We're not expecting for him to be perfect. Coming back from injury, a thumb that he had to get surgery on, I wasn't expecting perfection. All the haters were, but he played a dang good game. Not only that, okay, so he was sacked twice and he was hit 5 times, but still no fumbles. And y'all know that's like a whole thing, right? We started off super duper slow, right?
Yes.
With our first two drives were consecutive 3-and-outs, right? And the 3-and-outs are a whole issue. Why? Because we struggled on third downs throughout the game. We were only 3 of 9, but we weren't the only ones 3 of 9. The Lions were 3 of 9 too. But it's more significant for us because several of our Matthew, several several of the third downs were third and ones. And the thing about that is that if we can't convert on third and ones, that's like a huge issue. But the thing was, Zeke and Tony Pollard struggled to convert. And when you can't convert consistently on third downs, that's definitely going to affect your scoring ability, right? So Dak didn't have many deep balls this game. He threw a couple of passes that were absolutely spot on, or a few. Let me say a few, because I'm going to give him his credit where credit is due. One of those passes, I had to make a post about it. It was a pass that he threw to Schultz that was like, oh, right in. And I thought about Sadell as soon as he threw the daggone pass, y'all, because she criticizes and critiques Dak's
Oh Lord.
passes, the way he stands, the way he walks, whatever the case is. So the whole point here is that Dak threw, and it wasn't a pass that was behind Schultz. It was right on, and it was an anticipatory pass where he anticipated the receiver, or in this case, Dalton Schultz, the tight end, to catch that pass. Great pass. He had a couple of passes like that to CeeDee Lamb. But y'all know I'm realistic. I've come down from my high and mighty Dak cloud through the years. Not that made Sadell smile. But what I will say is that Dak threw a couple of passes that absolutely should have been picks. And they were thrown like legit, where there were like 3 defenders. Why? I don't know. And I just kept saying, well, what was the point? Like, what's the point of throwing to a receiver who's triple covered? It for one, it's dangerous, and then two, he's triple covered. That means that there's another receiver somewhere that ain't covered, right? So let's find that receiver. Um, Now our defense, y'all, we had two interceptions with Diggs and Jordan Lewis, who ended up getting injured in the game with the Frank injury. And then we had three fumble recoveries. And all of between the two interceptions and the three fumble recoveries, we actually turned those into three touchdowns. Is that a big deal? Yes, because usually we don't take turnovers and create points, like actual points. Some field goals every now and again, but points. Not only that, our defense only allowed for two field goals for the whole game, and they had 5 sacks on Jared Goff. Now, our rookie Sam Williams came out. He was a second round rookie. He had 2 sacks, including one that wasn't even a tackle. He just bogarted Jared Goff and took the ball from him. Like, nope,
Yeah.
thank you, let me go. And it was great. Tony Pollard, even though he struggled in converting third downs. He still had two of the longest plays in the game, a 28-yard run and a 24-yard run. And he had over 100 total yards for the game. Zeke rushed for 57 yards. We still have issues in the penalties, Sadell. We had 7 penalties this game. They had 8, but it doesn't matter because we need to be more disciplined in that area. So with all of those great things and some not so great things that I said about this game, where do you sit with our Dallas Cowboys and our quarterback coming back this week, Sadell?
So, first of all, I'm not a Dak hater. I do think that, of course, there's some things, but Dak kind of mentioned that he started feeling a little bit arrogant and making passes that should not have been made. I think he was just trying to show that, hey, I can do this and whatever. But yeah, some of those, like, it literally made no sense. And that's what Ed was saying. Like, he ignored the check down. And that's what I feel like, even though, of course, Dak is the better QB, when we had the backup QB in, he always would consider the check down rather than, trying to do something. He was just more cautious. I do feel like Dak did, second half kind of calm down, kind of get in his groove a little bit. And, at the end of the day, it was the Lions, and a win is a win, and we'll take that and keep going. But I think, I do feel like going forward, I don't know. This to me, this whole number one receiver thing still is questionable. You know what I'm saying? And you can tell that he is comfortable. Like, his comfort level lies in CD a lot, and also in our tight end. And so that's kind of almost like his security blanket where he goes sometimes, and sometimes to the point where he might force it. But he did spread the ball out quite a bit.
Did
Michael Gallup? I don't know.
I don't know either. Noah Brown is getting like way more well, not way more targets, but Noah Brown's getting more targets. And I don't know about that, Sadell. So this is the thing, because we just traded for a defensive tackle, Jonathan Hankins. We traded for this defensive tackle from the Raiders to help stop the run, because defensively, like, we can stop them from catching passes in the air. We got Trayvon Diggs for that. We're great at interceptions, so we're good in the secondary. But when it comes to stopping the run up front, like, we get slaughtered. Case in point, look at what we did in the first week against Tampa Bay. Did Leonard Fournette and the Tampa Bay Bucks just run all up and through us? Yes, they did. So this defensive tackle is supposed to help stop this run. He provides the depth along the interior, and he's going to help particularly for these early down situations, which hopefully will help the other team stop converting third downs, and then we can keep the other teams at bay, because we got them at bay, I feel like, to a certain extent when it comes to passing. but when it comes to running the ball, so as far as this pickup with our defensive tackle, we talked a couple of weeks ago about the Cowboys leaning into our best part of our team, which is our defense, and possibly even trading, possibly drafting for defensive players to lean in. But at this point, because of our situation with our not having a number one receiver, do you feel like that situation is more pertinent, like it's more important, like that needs to be more of a bigger priority for us than the defense?
So I mean, the thing is with this D tackle, we really didn't give up much of anything. You know what I'm saying? Like we really got him at a really good bargain. I think we gave up, I don't know, maybe a 5th round pick,
Yeah,
something very.
I
I
think
mean,
it's
we
important.
didn't
Yeah,
lose much in getting him,
yeah,
and we definitely need to plug up somehow in the middle
yes,
because we just
yeah,
the problem that happens is that if Micah moves or if D Law moves even, they're going to run a play like they kept trying to run the screenplay against Micah, and he read it a few times and came back and like, no, I got this. But
yeah,
that's what they're trying to do. They're
yeah,
trying to run the ball away from Micah. So wherever he is, that's where they're going to go away from, which puts us at because no one else really seems to be able to stop that. Van Der Esch actually had a couple of plays this week, and I'm hoping he can keep doing. I'm not absolutely sold on him anymore because he used to be, but he's just so breakable. You know, you just don't know what's going to happen with him from week to week. But he did actually get a couple stops. But you know, you take away Micah, we may not win the game, right? You know, he runs them down, so he's in the backfield, and then he chases this dude down and saves a touchdown.
yeah.
Like he's just a different kind of person. But I do feel like, you know, plugging that up will help a lot, and it'll save Micah because that's going to be a lot of wear and tear. You know what I'm saying? Just in general. And he's so young.
Yeah.
But from a receiver perspective, Dak needs an Amari Cooperish. You know what I'm saying? He does. I mean,
Yeah.
let's be honest. Let's think about
Yes.
when he really started to shine and thrive is when he had a number one receiver, like a receiver that's going to run a really good route and that's going to make somebody actually respect him and do something different. And we just don't have that. And I wish we did. And I want us to. And I'm not saying we have bad receivers. We just don't have a true number one go-to receiver.
We don't. We absolutely don't. And does that make you leery going into this week when we play Chicago? Because
Definitely.
especially with Zeke being injured, and there's a huge possibility that he may not play, and we win games because we run the ball, not because the ball is in the air. So how do you feel about that?
No, it definitely makes me leery. I mean, the thing is, we and even their defense is shoring up. So I mean, it's going to be a challenge for us already. If we got everybody healthy,
Yeah,
it was going to be a challenge. But we'll see how this goes because if Zeke doesn't play, that changes everything to me. And even if I'm the defensive coordinator for the Bears, it changes everything for me because you have to do some kind of game planning for Zeke.
yeah,
And so your schemes are going to have to say, okay, because he missed 3rd and 1 this week, but he was 6 of 6 prior to that. Because that's what he does. He moves the pile. And so not having him in the backfield, and I'm not saying anything against Pollard. I like Pollard. I like the tandem that we have. But without Zeke on the field, it just makes everything look different. And it does make me leery as to whether or not we can. Now, I do know that our defense can stop their offense.
Yes.
But can our offense put up the points that we need to win the game? That's going to be my concern.
I believe that we can, and I say that this game, I'm shocked that Chicago won this week.
There was a lot of shocking games this week.
It was, and you know what? I do want to talk about that because we are short for time, but and I'll get to my quirky queen question. when we just dive into some of this drama. But before we do, y'all, I do want to let y'all know it's only 6 teams in the NFC that are either 500 and above, right? Only 6 teams, and 3 of them are in the NFC East. We are no longer the NFC least. We are now the NFC beast, okay? And everybody needs to be concerned. Now, in the NFC North, the Vikings are number one. That's not too far fetched, but it is kind of sort of when you think about Aaron and the Packers, because normally, usually Aaron, and you think that the Packers are going to win that division. Well, that ain't so, and we're going to talk about that in a minute. The Seahawks are first in the West, which is like, what? Without Russell Wilson? How? What? That's crazy, right?
That is crazy.
And then what is even more bananas is that nobody in the NFC South is above 500. That also includes the Tampa Bay Bucks. So, why did I mention that, y'all? Because there's so much drama and changes going on. For once, and I'm just gonna have to go super fast. But for one, the Colts. Okay, Matt Ryan got benched this week for Sam Ellinger. Y'all know I'm a Sam Ellinger fan. Hook 'em, right? So, but this is the thing. Matt Ryan, this veteran player, just got completely benched for this player who has not started an NFL game. They don't know how he's gonna pass. They don't know who he's gonna pass to. There's multiple receivers that the Colts have, but their production all depends on the quarterback. So I don't know if this is going to go well for the Colts or not, but the Colts are legit. One of the reasons they're benching him is for finances, because he can't, if he were to get hurt, like, then he's guaranteed like $17 million going into next season. So they don't want a chance of him to get hurt. But like, dang, you gonna bench him? Okay, never mind. So the other thing about this is that the Jets, well, okay. So get to the Jets in a minute. The okay, this week the Commanders played the Packers. The Commanders, y'all, our Commanders, I say our because they're part of our NFC beast, but they are the least in our beast because they're the lowest on the totem pole when it comes to rankings and games won. But they beat the Packers. How?
Yes.
And so Aaron Rodgers, after the game, says that there's chronic player mistakes. The guys who are making too many mistakes shouldn't be playing. They need to start cutting reps. And maybe the guys who aren't playing should be playing. What? So it's that part, Sadale. Okay, so hold on, because my quirky queen question is what I'm gonna ask you. The other part of this is that Tom Brady has been vocal about his frustration with his team and his losses, even to the point of this public ridicule of his teammates during the game last week, right? So we've seen Tom Brady say something publicly to his teammates during the game. We've seen Aaron Rodgers share his frustration about his teammates and his coach publicly. We see what the Colts have done with Matt Ryan and Ellinger. And then on top of that, I talked to y'all last week about Kyler Murray a little bit, but this week Kyler Murray has legit had a public altercation with his coach during the daggone game. I find it funny that DeAndre Hopkins is like his first game back, and then all of a sudden Kyler Murray's like in Cliff Kingsbury's face. I find that interesting. But Kyler Murray and Cliff Kingsbury have both downplayed this altercation. Like Kyler Murray trying to tell Cliff Kingsbury to calm down when they were at the goal line about to do a play, and he called a timeout, and he just thought that he was being too animated. But now if you read local papers about in Arizona, they're talking about Kyler Murray and how he has these crazy, immature, embarrassing antics for his organization. When he was unhappy with his contract back in February, he removed all of the team related photos from his IG. He unfollowed the Cardinals on Twitter. There's allegations that he will call his girlfriend or wear earbuds during halftime of the daggone games, and it's just coming across as if Kyler Murray is immature and arrogant. So, my question of the day, my quirky queens question, with Tom Brady and Aaron Rodgers, these veteran players voicing publicly their frustration with their teams, Kyler Murray, a public altercation with his coach, and then the Colts with this Matt Ryan and Ellinger situation, which situation would be more detrimental to its organization?
I mean, Tom Brady is causing his own demise on his team. He just has a lot of stuff going on. And so for me, it's crazy for me for him to even get on and have anything to say about my team. Like, get your stuff off the field taken care of. I feel like, in the past, he's been just he's been the golden child. And so with him being a golden child, like, he's always had, he and his wife, his kids, everything was perfect on and off the field. He was, the team guy, like, let's get everything together. He was always a leader. And now he's having these little fits and tantrums and acting crazy and missing stuff to go to freaking wedding receptions. And, I feel like Tom Brady is his own worst enemy in this. So I don't really feel like he's having anything to say. Now, with him, if he doesn't make a change, is that going to get better for the team? Like, no. But at the end of the day, I don't think he's going to play anymore. For the team in general, I think Green Bay probably has the worst, because they've already paid him so much money and they have this contract looming. So what are you going to do? You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like Discount Double Check has them hang tied right now because there's not really a lot of stuff that they've done. So Matthew says he earned the ability to go to a wedding. No, I don't agree with that. I don't agree with you get to go to a wedding when you're supposed to be, doing walkthroughs with your team and y'all already on a downturn. I don't agree with that. I agree that he earned it if he wasn't playing, because he earned the right to retire, the GOAT. And that's probably what he should have done. But when you decided, hey, I'm going to still play, you don't get to just take off and go like, hey, guys, check this out. I'm going to go hang out with my buddies. Y'all do the walkthrough. Let me know what y'all come up with. I don't think he's earned that right. I don't think anybody who signed up to do that and be a leader in any team sport has the right to do that. So Kyler was just missing B-Hop, so I expect him to get much better over the year, but Ryan City makes it easier for the team cash-wise next year. So
it does.
Yeah, so, Brady still had 290 yards this weekend, but it didn't translate to a win. That's the problem. Like, Brady's numbers are getting back on track, but I feel like he's losing his team. I feel like he's losing the team as far as them doing things that they would normally do. Last year, the year before last, they were running through walls for Tom Brady.
Yeah.
But now you sitting there and you complaining about everybody else but you, And so I just feel like, wow. Barron says, why would he go to a wedding when he's getting a divorce? Dwayne says he can't even focus because you got that Cowboys jersey on.
First of all, Dwayne is like hater number one. Okay. Like, Dwayne has become one of those people who it never fails, especially if we play the Commanders. And you're a Commander fan, like, boo to you. Okay.
Like, I hate that name.
Yes, exactly. But he has the audacity to sit and send me ugly texts, to send me messages, to send me ugly pictures of his team, whatever the case is. Like,
yeah, he does. And he had the audacity to post something on my timeline. I'm like, how can I
Isn't
block
that
that from
rude?
happening?
Isn't that rude?
So
Yes,
Jimmy,
Benji, they are tuning Brady out because of what Sadell said. Right. Oh, Jimmy.
so James says missing the day at his age isn't going to change a thing. Defense took a step back. I mean, I'm not saying it's going to change a thing as far as him. What I'm saying is, from a team perspective, as a leader,
Yes,
that's just
right.
to me, that's just not something that you do. Matthew says
Oh, Lord.
he doesn't play defense. I agree, but he's still a leader on the team.
Right.
And so
Right.
I feel like all of it is just kind of falling apart. And they may have their now, so and honestly, the way Murray was talking to his coach was crazy, right?
Yes. Yes.
And the thing that's even more crazy for me, Kyler Murray is like this. He
Most of the
literally
time.
has no emotion, like
Yes.
ever.
Yes.
And so I feel like something else is going on. And even though they're trying to downplay this, something else is going on, because why is anything that your coach saying to you setting you off that much, and to where you like telling him to calm down and do, whatever.
Yes.
You're telling him to stop being animated, but then you're animated. So it's just kind of a weird thing. I feel like there's probably something more going on with that. But that was probably definitely the most vicious looking.
Yes.
But
yes. And I would say it was atrocious. I'll give you that, Matthew, because he knew that this was a nationally televised game. Like you there's just certain things that you just don't do. And Tom Brady saying something to his offensive lineman versus Kyler Murray cussing out his coach. That's two totally different things.
Yeah.
But I do feel like if the player can talk to the coach like that on national television, like what does that say about the organization? What does that say about the hierarchy of the organization? What does that say about Kyler Murray's respect for Cliff Kingsbury? Does that say that Cliff Kingsbury's job is on the line, or is Kyler Murray just making a bigger story about him not wanting to be in Arizona anymore? Regardless of the fact, I'm still standing on the fact that we never seen Kyler Murray act this way until DeAndre Hopkins came on the field, and DeAndre Hopkins was the one having to calm him down and hold him back. And I'm just like, did you get some courage? I don't know what it is with Kyler Murray, but I do like, what do y'all think? Y'all have to let me know what y'all think about that.
Sean says that he's a spoiled, entitled brat, and I do feel that he is a little bit bratty. I mean, I do feel that has something to do with it, but he's, for the most part, been bratty and spoiled because since high school, he's pretty much just gotten his way and had his way since he was in high school. He's Cardinals trash. Who cares? Let's go Cowboys. Baron, you're right. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go.
Yeah. And oh my gosh.
Now, so there may be a little something to that, because Jalen Hurts is like changing the climate and the culture of that team. Like, he's just like bringing a little fire and amping them up a little bit. And no, I don't like it. I don't. However, it is like it's making them feel like they did back when they won the Super Bowl. Like, they have that same kind of courage, that same kind of vibe going on right now.
So, so much. Yes, LeBron says it doesn't say anything about the team. The players and the coaches always argue. It's just caught on tape. We talked about that somewhat last week. And yes, I am a firm believer what goes on in the house stays in the house. Absolutely. But for whatever reason, this season, not just in the NFL, but in the NBA, we've been seeing these altercations, these conflicts come public. And it shouldn't be that. It really should be that. To hear and see all these comments about Kyler Murray, it's sad to me, but it's also true. And it's also like what Sean was saying, it's a privilege. it's that I'm privileged and I'm gonna do what I want to do type of attitude. And I hate it. I hate it with a passion. But as far as Jalen Hurts and the Eagles go, let me tell y'all, first of all, the Eagles really pissed me off today. Why? They went and got Robert Quinn. Robert Quinn? Are you kidding me? We had Robert Quinn. And when we let Robert Quinn go, who was ticked off was me. Why? And the thing is, we still have one of the best defenses in the daggone league. I'm not disputing that. But we got to play against Robert Quinn. Thank goodness he wasn't with us when we played the Eagles a couple of weeks ago. He wasn't with them. Thank goodness.
That's major. That's major. And that's major.
It really frustrates me that the daggone Eagles are just trying to just stack up. But this is the thing. I'm still not sold on the Eagles and their offensive, just them scoring offensively consistently against good teams. And I say that because y'all know the Eagles have like the weakest strength of schedule. And that matters. Y'all talked about us all last season, the season before that. Every time we won games, and y'all said, well, y'all beat the Lions. Oh, y'all beat the Browns. Oh, y'all beat the Jets. Listen, they were NFL teams, and now I'm saying the Eagles have the weakest strength of schedule, and y'all gonna put some respect on our name, and don't tell me, well, we just beat the Lions. We can't control that. We played the whole NFC North. We gonna beat the rest of them too. But the Eagles, if you look at the rest of their schedule, y'all, they absolutely should win the games, except for when they play us. They should. Demond, don't come on this show being ghetto and ugly. Like we don't do that here. We don't recognize the Eagles. Sean says to Philly fans and media, 1 minute you want to replace them and the next you want to chase them. He's talking about Hurts. In the event they lose a couple, how will the team and fans react when faced with some adversity? I don't know, because I really think that the Philly fans have lost their ever-loving minds now. I really think that they think they're Super Bowl bound, and I just don't think
they do.
Yes, they look like it now, Sadell, but I really don't think that that's going to carry for the rest of the season and into the playoffs. I really don't. When they start having to play teams in the playoffs, I just don't think that they're going to be able to carry on like how they've been doing. Let's see. They're trying to tell the NFL they're ready for everyone, but I'm a Cowboys fan like my cuz. That's right, cuz. That's right. I love when, look, you know, we're from Chicago, and being from Chicago, my family can't stand us Cowboy fans. But I root for the Bears when we're not playing them. Y'all just forget. Right, because you play your schedule, but I'm just saying, like, the Philly still has, they absolutely should win most of their games this season.
I mean, they literally have a very, very strong chance to win out and go undefeated in regular season.
Right. Exactly.
So
they really do.
I mean, depending on which Green Bay team they get, but I don't see Matt is talking about Dallas fans. We saying we want Cooper Rush back. Ain't nobody saying that.
What?
Mathis.
Okay, listen, because y'all got these comments just scrolling, and I'm trying to post them, but at the same time, I'm like, who pissed in y'all's Cheerios this morning? Why did y'all wake up and choose violence? We didn't do that to y'all.
See, Demond says we should worry about the Giants, not the Eagles. And I'm so disappointed because I so sincerely thought the Giants were going to lose this week. And what?
You too?
I'm just like, that just, at that point, I'm like, I don't even know. That whole thing just threw me off because I'm like, y'all really tripping.
Matthew, You have got to be out of your mind.
What did Matthew say? Oh, cowgirls. Anything start with cowgirl, I just delete. I didn't see that one.
Yeah, I'm not, but mind you, and it's the Saints fans that are worse, and
No, but
now, oh yeah, okay. So real
no, but
quick,
there are a lot of Cowboy fans who are crazy. Cowboys, and I'm just saying in general, Cowboys and Saints fans to me are they over the top.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Thank
but they
you,
don't play a
Jimmy.
really good team until the playoffs. Like they really
Right.
don't have anybody on their schedule. I mean, it's a 99.9% chance they're going to make the playoffs. So, you know,
What, Lauren? I'm telling you, like, did y'all just
yeah.
are really on some other stuff? I'm really just no, we don't want Cooper. Listen, I have nothing against Cooper Rush. Cooper Rush did what he was supposed to do. I'm grateful for that, but I'm glad that Dak is back.
So Matthew, we're not the sorriest conference now. Like we have been in the past, definitely been the worst conference. But right now, we're not the worst conference. But the strength of schedule does have something to do with it. I ain't gonna lie about that.
Okay. So, okay. The other thing, real quick, y'all, the daggone 49ers. So the 49ers just got Christian McCaffrey, right? The 49ers, not only did they improve their run game, but I mean, they have Christian McCaffrey, they have Brandon Ayuk, uh, they have so many like key players and so many people to do multiple things. So I just with the 49ers, they're so stacked right now. Debo Samuel was the one I'm missing. Kittle. They got Jeff Wilson. Elijah Mitchell is coming back. He had a sprain at the earlier this season. He's coming back after their bye. Now they got to the playoffs. They got to that daggone Super Bowl with Jimmy G. Do you think that they could do that again? Like they're stacking around this man. This is their second string quarterback. This ain't even Trey Lance, who they started off the season with, thinking that he was going to be their save all be all. But here's Jimmy G again, and they are stacking them up around him.
That dude, I don't know. That dude just somehow ends up in a position where he just kind of puts the team in a position to be able to make a decent run. And people talk about him so much because half the time he looks lost, doesn't know what's going on. But he just seems to be able to put teams in position. And I don't know. Now their schedule is a little bit tougher. So we'll see.
Yeah.
They have a few tougher games that are going to be coming up. So I don't know if he's going to be able to get done what they're hoping that he can. But the fact that they are building a team around, but that's what they're supposed to do. You know what I'm saying? I mean,
right.
Just like us, we need to put some people around our QB who can help him.
I agree.
Laron, you agree with Laron?
I agree with you.
Oh, okay.
No, I don't agree with LeBron. LeBron, he wakes up and chooses violence so much. And I just want him to be better in life. He said Dak still looked the same, overthrowing and confused. No, his passes were not. Y'all critique and criticize every freaking pass. Not all of his passes were overthrown. There was a couple overthrown passes. There was a couple of passes thrown into triple coverage that should not have been thrown. We said that. We talked about it. You should have been here at the beginning of the daggone show. I said it. But I'm also saying that he also had some great spot on passes. Get off my QBG. Get off my QB. So we only got a couple of more minutes. And I'm trying to get the rest of you guys' comments and stuff. Sadell, is there anything you want to throw in there before we get off?
Well, I guess we can talk next week about the college football playoffs because that's going to
Okay.
wind up being an interesting thing.
Yeah.
The only thing that I'm really kind of these Lakers. Someone made a comment, and first of all, the Lakers are freaking 0
Oh,
and
and 3.
3. Someone made a comment and said the Lakers team is built worse than Kendrick Perkins. Carry on, because I don't know, and I just feel like they just don't know. Nobody knows what they're doing. Russell Westbrook is not making good decisions. I I don't know. Like they're on a downturn, and I don't even know what's going to happen to them. I mean, first of all, the 76ers and the Lakers are both 0 and 3.
Yes.
And then the worst part of it is they both have traded their first round pick for the next draft. So neither of those teams even have a first round pick in the next draft. So right now things can
Yeah.
change. They make a lot of
Yeah.
trades and all that, but I don't know. Like the Lakers, and it is still early. I mean, there's a lot of basketball still left to be played, but
It is.
God
It
dang
is.
it! In the last game, Westbrook was pulling up for a jumper. It's like 30 seconds left on the clock. You could hear everybody in the gym saying, "No!" Like, that's awful. That's awful.
It
That's crazy.
is.
And so it's just like that team is just I think LeBron was like, we can't even shoot a penny in the ocean. Like they cannot shoot. 25 for
Really can't.
118 from the 3-point line. 25 for
Yeah,
118 from the
Jimmy.
3-point line. And this is NBA players. So it's just Russ is 1 of 12. Patrick Beverly, 12 fouls and 3 baskets. None is minus 44 in 44
Horrible.
minutes. Like they're awful. They're awful. I don't know. I don't
Yeah.
know, but that's gonna be crazy, and it'll be interesting to see how they try and turn that around. But all I know is the Pelicans have their first round pick going into the next year, so I don't know what's gonna happen with that. They just been
Well,
on a bad downturn, and I don't know how they're gonna fix it.
I don't know either. They just look horrible. And I'm not sure. Like my cousin said, they have no youth. They are like the old man team.
I,
And it's not a good look. And the crazy thing is when you see a team full of veterans like that, like you would think that they would have like some leadership and you would see that on the court and it would transfer to that, and that's not the case. But then when you look at a team like the Warriors and they have a bunch of veteran players, right? Players that have been there for years, but those players look as if like Steph still looks as if he's in his prime. Clay still looks as if he's in his prime. Draymond, but they still look good and they still look playoff bound. And the Lakers look nothing like that. And it brings me great joy.
yeah, well, hey Lincoln, I will definitely be checking you out, looking for you. But I do, you know, I I do for once actually kind of agree with Matthew. The Lakers front office is ridiculous. And
That's so
so when
funny.
you compare them to an organization like the Warriors front office, coaches, and culture is completely different, pretty much from any team in the NBA. And so that's the thing. Like, what are they going to look like tonight?
Yeah.
But I just feel like the chemistry is just completely off. And regardless of their age, shooters can shoot. I
Yeah,
mean,
exactly.
so they just don't have anybody that can throw a penny into the ocean.
They don't. Jimmy said the game changes every 10 years. It's a different game than when Brian and Russ started. He said, like when it's time to get a new wash rag. It is. It's time for the Lakers to get a new wash rag. They holding on too long. Throw that one in the trash and move on. But that's we gonna see. Yeah, and said they're not lacking leadership, they're lacking shooting skills. Well, I mean,
Clearly.
they lacking a lot more. Clay got his first career ejection talking to Devin Booker. That wasn't funny, but it was like this is his first career ejection. Like Clay came back, it was like,
He was like,
listen
I got
here,
more
young
rings.
buck.
Yeah, I got more rings in your whole organization than you, your mama, your grandma. I got like he just started
Right.
going in.
I know, but I'm not. I mean, I'm not mad at him about it. The Warriors have been tough for years. Lakers like the old Portland Trailblazers, the ugliest team in the NBA, not willing. Dag. Oh, Sadell. Matthew said Sadell sounds like she knows what she's talking about when she piggybacks off of me. He's such a hater. Don't do her like that. Don't do my sis. You gonna get blocked. Lincoln said the Knicks are leading the league with points in the paint.
In the paint, yeah.
In the paint. Russ is our only real problem. 3-point shot or shot is just a shot. Clay is on the downside and Book was cooking him. That's why he got mad.
Russ is not your only real problem.
He's not. He's really not.
Russ is definitely a problem. Like he doesn't make good decisions, you know, and which is a little bit odd, but you got to think about the teams and the environment that he's come from. Like that was his job to take those shots. Yeah. And so now he's doing all this, but stuff isn't falling. But Russ is not the only problem. I mean, nobody can shoot. And if you're a shooter, like that's something that can be fairly, how's Russ the only problem? Yeah, exactly. He's not. Look down the roster.
So right, exactly. You do have to he said they got 5 point guards. Yes. The Young Bucks he's talking about that they're old and they as an organization, like it's okay to have veteran players and you mix that in with some youth but that's I'm not exactly sure what's going on with the Lakers.
But in other news, that Luka is coming out hot on fire for the first 3 games. So that's
he is. Yes, he is. My son Luka. Y'all, I love Luka. Luka comes out and he just does the daggone thing. And this is the thing. Luka has legit in the first 3 games, he's the only Mavs player in Mavs history like ever to open the season with 3 straight 30+ games. Like this man is just hot. He's just hot. And I just see great things for him this season. MVP? Maybe. That would be
I agree.
awesome.
His defense is somewhat lacking. Matthew says they don't have to take threes. I agree. Y'all don't have to take threes. So why do y'all keep shooting them? That's the problem. It's 118 taken, 25 made. So that's why I'm saying Russ is not the only problem. Y'all have a coaching problem. Y'all have a back office problem. Y'all have
Darvin Ham is the problem.
Y'all have some problems.
He just got there. Y'all
you know
can't
what,
keep
though?
blaming the
He has
coaches
a
and LeBron keep running them out.
Problem. Like he was turned over some garbage. That basically
he was.
And so yeah. But anyway, I don't have anything else.
LeBron is such a hater.
He don't play a lot of defense. Not well. He's one of those kind of players, kind of like James Harden, that floats and sometimes ends up in the right place and gets a steal. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
That's kind of what he does.
He's crafty like that and can do that. Yes. You know what, Mathis? You're right. The Spurs won when they were old, but you know the difference there was the coaching, and their front office,
and their culture,
and the whole culture. Absolutely, big difference. Big difference. Okay, Matthew, I'm just stop with you and your negative comments. Okay. No, we're not sleeping on the Nets, Jimmy. I'm just trying to figure out if the Nets are going to get past all of their drama with their players and everything. Like, I'm just not sure how that's going to manage throughout the season with Kyrie and Katie, and what's going to happen with Ben Simmons, we shall see.
So
I
what?
just don't think AD. Okay, I'm gonna leave that alone, Matthew. Yeah. Trade Westbrook for some shooters ASAP. Who's gonna trade with them for Westbrook? Yep, Jimmy coaching culture and the system. That was
Yeah,
why the
I
Spurs
agree.
won when they did, and they were older. I'm not. That's not the past. That's this year. That's literally this year. Um, are the Astros winning the World Series, y'all? Are they going to beat the Phillies? I know some Astro fans. We're in Texas,
I
so
mean, the Phillies have a strong chance, but God, the
the
Astros,
Astros,
I think the Astros win.
yeah, yeah, the Astros have definitely been playing for them. They swept the Yankees. That was ugly. That was
You know
really
what? They were talking about this organization. I can't remember what it's called that does predictions for the World Series, and they were saying that they predicted the Astros would win, but they also predicted them to win in their last two trips to the World Series, and they lost. So I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing for them. I don't know if that's a bad sign, but I think the Astros really have a good chance this time.
LeBron said they got big bats. They cheating again, LeBron. Again. They got big bats. That is hilarious. Pictures. Um, but good luck to the Astros. He said, "Oh, cheap
Very.
ass."
But I don't know. I guess we can. I don't have anything else really. But
Okay.
I'm just kind of. I don't even. I want to touch on Aaron Donald and those guys dropping, but I don't really want to go into the whole Kanye thing because that just opened up a whole lot of things. I don't even know
Well,
what to
you can
say.
at least tell people what you're talking about. We only got a few minutes left anyway.
So Kanye West has been going on, these various rants, and so Adidas literally said we're gonna take a loss of $246 million this quarter because we don't want to deal with him anymore. Aaron Donald and his wife made a statement basically saying, "Yeah, Aaron, man, that whole thing is crazy with Brittany Griner." But Aaron Donald and his wife made a joint statement saying we don't agree with this and we cannot, stand by this. So, which a lot of people didn't know that Kanye actually had a sports representative agency. Like nobody really knew that. But even though Adidas is moving away from him, Kanye still owns Yeezy. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know how much all of this is going to hurt him really in the grand scheme. It's not like his sports agency is going to go away. Aaron
Apparently,
Donald,
he took that to Skechers today, and they weren't having it.
no, I mean he's somebody is though. So I mean, it's just crazy
in this day and
because
age in cancel culture. You think so?
it's just crazy to me. Like it's hard to figure him out. Like he just does so many things, so you can't tell if it's like some kind of propaganda, if it's something that I'm trying, or if it's just complete mental breakdown, or whatever is going on with him. But wow. Down the basketball academy got kicked out of a tournament today. Now that's unfortunate because that affects kids.
Yeah.
His net worth is taking a $2 billion hit over the last 2 weeks. And that's basically projected on all the people who have kind of pulled away from him and dropped out. But it's crazy. It's crazy because like he's literally just falling apart at the seams right before our eyes and losing his family, everyone is left. He's all over the place. He needs to go to the farm with Dave Chappelle and take a break and chill for And I mean, even though it sounds funny, he does. Like, he's just so much in the limelight and doing so many crazy
Yeah.
things, and he doesn't have anybody around him that's like, hey man, you need to chill.
Yeah.
But he just does. He does need to regroup.
And grieve. Do you think he's actually grieved his mother's death or just acted out since then?
He's definitely acted out since then, and people grieve differently. And maybe it was his mom that was keeping him quiet all this time, and now he's like, I'm just gonna say what I want to say, do what I want to do. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know, but I agree. Like, you can't
You're right,
target a group of
Lauren.
people, so you can't like make all of these outlandish statements and then try and control what happens, because you don't know. Like, you can't charge somebody up and then try and tell them how they have to respond and react, and because you don't know what's going to happen. So that there's going to be some backlash.
Okay, so Matthew says he's smarter than most African Americans, so our people criticize him out of ignorance. They don't realize that he has validity to what he's saying. And I don't think that that's the case. I think that when it comes to our culture, like, some of us are just frustrated. Like, there's other ways that you can go about delivering a message, and you can deliver your message without insulting somebody else. And you don't have to criticize or critique another culture or other people to say what you have to say. And those things are not okay. And I think nowadays with cancel culture, though, it can't happen. And I don't think it's just African Americans. I think people in general are just like, Kanye, chill. Like, say what you want to say. People buy your albums, but don't go walk around insulting people. And then just the way that you go about stuff, the way that he goes about getting attention, that's the part that we don't like. We're not saying there's not validity to the things that he's saying, but his approach and the way that he goes about it is, I think, what most people have an issue with. Yes, there's collateral damage.
Yeah,
as far as the basketball,
but there's collateral damage to his own kids as well. I mean, there's a lot of fallout that's going to happen from all of this, you know?
Yeah. So dang, Matthew said that man became a billionaire several times over within a few years after being 50 something in debt.
Girl, you better paraphrase that. That's a lot. He done wrote a whole thesis.
I know.
But I do get what he's saying. Like, you know, I was a very big Kanye fan. I think Kanye has done a lot of great things in music. I think Kanye has done a lot of, you know, other things. I do feel that what he's doing, he's just going away. He's going, even if what we're saying, even if we think he's right in what he's saying it the wrong way. You know what I'm saying?
See, so LeBron he doesn't know how to articulate his words or subject. Yeah. So I get that. Yes, I do believe that he's in a bad space right now. Dag, y'all. He said he's wary of anybody who calls themselves a genius. Well, he thinks he is. And I mean, musically, he could be. Okay, we're going to go ahead and wrap.
I'm not trying to dumb your messages down, Matthew. It's just we have a lot of messages, and that was a lot to read. So I wasn't trying to dumb it down. I was just saying, paraphrase it.
Trying to do that, Matthew. We're posting. I'm so glad we can post the comments now, because now you guys can see.
But we couldn't even post that whole comment. It had ... It wouldn't, the whole thing wouldn't go on.
Oh, gotcha. Okay. Well, we've got to wrap it up, guys. Man, thank y'all for kicking it with us. This was fun.
We love you. Appreciate you. If no one told you they loved you this week, just know that we love you, and we'll see you again next week. Peace out.
Peace out, guys. We will see you guys next week.
Yeah, he's talking about the sneaker game, because I probably won't buy Adidas if they don't have Yeezys. I'm just being very honest, but go ahead.
See you guys.